This video is of course shot on the brand new iPhone 17 because Apple personally delivered one to me the moment Tim Cook got off the stage. Totally legit. Or better yet, this year's iPhone is the most iPhone that Apple has ever iPhoned. Okay, jokes aside, I know that from of my past videos, some of you might be thinking that I'm just an Android fanboy throwing shade at Apple. Not at all. I'm not on Team Apple or Team Android. I am just on Team Consumer, which means your side. And today I want to break down what the iPhone 17 series really brings to the table.
No other smartphone comes close. We're even filming this event with iPhone 17 Pro.
You can be as brave as you want, but it takes the highest level of audacity to shoot an entire event on a smartphone. And for that, credit where it's due. Apple pulled it off. It's a reminder that no matter how big the sensors on Asian devices get, the magic of the ProRes video does not just come from hardware specs. It's the marriage between software and hardware that makes it shine. Now, in this video, I won't be diving into Apple Watch that supposedly saves lives or the AirPods Pro so smart that interpreters might start worrying about their jobs. Nope. Today is about Apple raising the bar. And by raising the bar, I mean branding features that we've seen elsewhere with shiny new names. Okay, like take the 120 Hz refresh rate. On other phones, it's called 120 Hz. On an iPhone, it's called promotion. And as a creator, for a second, I thought Apple was announcing Fusion from DaVinci Resolve. But no, it was just a new way of branding the camera system. And if we keep this positive vibe going, the A19 Pro is one of those upgrades we all saw coming. Pair it with the Apple Intelligence, and well, let's just say I'm convincing myself that it's a good thing. But here is the twist. The real eyebrow raiser isn't the Pro or the Pro Max. It's the new iPhone Air, not because it raises the bar, but because it literally is the bar. Remember a couple of months back, I made a video talking about this design? If you've been around the tech world long enough, it will remind you of the iconic Nexus 6P, except Apple made it thinner, sleeker, and just 5.6mm slim. Add to a 6.5-inch display, blasting 3000 nits peak brightness, and yeah, you can't ignore that. Love it or hate it, Apple also slipped in something genuinely interesting. The center stage on the front camera. And no, not the same center stage that you've used on the iPads. This one lets you shoot in both landscape and portrait without even rotating the phone. That's a real game changer. Now, if Apple lets you change the orientation after recording, that would basically be like an open gate shooting, the kind of stuff that we usually only see on high-end cameras like Lumix.
Resulting in iPhone 17 Pro Max achieving the best battery life ever in an iPhone.
AirPods are the best and most popular headphones in the world.
For the first time.
All right, now let's get into what really reminded me that it was an Apple event. I watched it from the beginning to the end, waiting for some clear information on the new series, maybe the exact battery specs or maybe the sensor size. But nope, every answer came in the form of vague expressions like bigger sensors, bigger battery. Not once did they mention the actual numbers. And naming the camera housing as a plateau, yeah, I didn't see that coming. But then I remembered, oh right, this is an Apple event. So renaming things is basically part of the Keynote tradition. And look, I allow myself to joke about it because Apple themselves claim that these phones are built to resist whatever life throws at them. So if you are an Apple user, here's my advice. Don't let the phones be tougher than you. But here is another twist. This year feels like the year where Android plays the teacher and Apple the student. The iPhone 17 lineup now boasts an anti-reflective coating, the same one Samsung introduced last year on the Samsung S24 Ultra. And then there's the dual video recording, which, let's be honest, has been on Android phones for years. I was genuinely shocked to hear Apple present it as a first-time feature on the iPhone. Wow. Oh, let's not forget about the periscope lens that bumped from last year's 5x zoom to 8x. Impressive, sure, but again, not exactly groundbreaking in the wider smartphone world. And finally, the eSIM-only approach seems to be creeping closer to the new normal. Let's just hope that's not the trend that other companies keep copying, because even Google seems to have started this year. So here we are, another iPhone, another Keynote, another mix of shining names and familiar claims. Some things impressed, some things depressed, and of course, some things just got redressed. But remember this, I'm not here waving an Apple flag or an Android one. I'm waving yours because at the end of the day, it's not about being on Team iPhone or Team Galaxy. It's about being on Team Consumer. If Apple raises the bar, I'll clap. And if another brand takes the lead, I'll point it out. Because this channel isn't about picking sides, it's about picking sense. And that, my friends, is the side I am on. Thanks for watching.